Hello everybody, I am Shankar. In this playlist, we are going to see the most beautiful, unique, mind-blowing yoga psychology stories. Let's go to today's story. Once upon a time, there was a small village next to one side ocean and the other side mountains. And in this small village, there lived one family which was not like any other family. Maybe particularly that day, the family had so much of pain. Why? Because a 16-year-old girl who was not married yet was found pregnant. And father and mother of the girl was literally in pain, and they were begging the child to know who is the boy, the reason for this pregnancy, and she was not ready to reveal the boy's name. And she was locked up in the room, and she was tortured, and she was beaten, and she was begged, but no use. The girl was not ready to reveal the boy's name. After a few months, the girl delivered a very beautiful boy baby, and that was the day when father of the girl crossed his limit. He started beating his girl black and blue and started asking, if you don't tell the boy's name, I'm going to kill this newly born baby. And that is the time the girl revealed that 3 kilometers away the village, there is a small mountain, and at the top of the mountain there is a small hut. And in the small hut there lives a yogi, and that old yogi is the father of the child. The father was even more upset and took the child and started walking very angrily towards the mountain. And once he reached the mountain, he was thinking to scold the old man and give the baby to him and come back. Now, let us know who is the old man. The old man is there for years, more than 30-40 years, and this old man had a very disciplined life for more than 30-40 years. Every day he used to get up at morning 4 and used to come down to the river and take bath in the river and go back to the mountain carrying one bucket of water for his whole day use, and around 11 o'clock he used to come back again and ask alms in 3 houses, and after taking bhiksha from any of the house, he again takes the rice and goes back and cooks and eats. And only one time a day he eats food. And all the remaining time, he used to do yoga, he used to do meditation, he used to do, scriptural studies, he used to do penance. And this was his timetable for the past 40 years. Then how could that old man be the father of this child? Definitely not. The father of the child was a young man who went for business to a different country, and before going to the country, he promised, and also he took promise from the girl that I will definitely come, and till I come, you should not tell to your father that I am your lover. And the girl had no other option other than not revealing the boy's name. And just for that reason, the girl was not ready to tell the boy's name. But here came a situation where she was compelled to tell a name, and she had no other option. And God knows why she told the old man's name, but it came out of her mouth, and the father is now walking towards the mountain, climbing the mountain to give the baby to the old man. And now what is happening in the other side of the mountain? The top of the hill, in a very small hut under a very big banyan tree, there was this yogi sitting inside that small hut 10 by 10 and meditating. Om, Om, Om. Nobody ever even imagined that somebody will knock that door, because no one ever comes there to the top of the hill, and no one ever talked to this old man. First time in his life, somebody was knocking the door. And he never even heard that sound, so it took some time for him to know that, oh, somebody is knocking the door. So the guy went out to the door and opened the door and found a man with a baby, and he was so surprised and he was about to greet them. Hi, hello, please come, how can I help you? He was maybe about to say, but before even he could say hi, the other side, the man started blasting him and he started scolding him. How dare you have, blah, 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 and all bad words, And at last, without even the man could know what happened, the yogi couldn't even get a chance to ask a question or answer any of the question. But without any of pre-knowledge, something, absurd happened, unbelievable thing happened. The man pushed the baby to the yogi's hand and closed the door and went. Imagine the old man, for 40 years he was doing meditation and penance and yoga, and he has nothing to do with marriage life, and here he is, the newly born baby in his hand, that too alone in the top of the mountain. He had no clue what happened, and the baby is still sleeping. The door is closed, the room is there, and for half a second he thought and said, Okay, let it be. And took the baby, placed it next to him, and again sat for meditation and sat and started chanting, Om. Less than 5 minutes, he started getting a very big, nasty smell. Yes, it is the baby's. He don't know what to do. He had one cloth on his body and one cloth was drying outside. So he went out, took some leaves and started cleaning up the shit and started using the one bucket of water which is there for his whole day use, cleaned the baby and brought back the baby and let the baby sleep and again sat for meditation. First time it was disturbed. Again sat for meditation and started chanting Om. Again, within 2 minutes of time, the baby is now fully unloaded. So the baby wants something. The baby started crying. He had nothing to give. He don't even know what to do. And after a few thought, he had decided to go down to the village and first time, breaking his rule, second time in a day, he's going to ask for alms. He went, took the baby and knocked the door and asked, Bhavati Bhikshan Dehi. And that came the mother puzzled. Asked, second time, okay, what can I do for you? He said, this time, can you give me milk? He never asked till now anything. Whatever they give, he used to come and eat. And if they don't give in 3 hours, he will not eat that day, fasting. And here comes a moment where the yogi is ordering what he wants. He is saying, can you give me some milk, please? And the lady was puzzled, but seeing the child, without even asking second question, she went and took some bowl of milk and poured it in his vessel. The yogi came back, gave them milk with some cotton available in that squirrel nest, etc. And he took it and dipped it and gave to the child. The child drank the milk and slept. Voila! At last, the baby slept and he was started focusing on meditation again, yoga again. But God forbid, whole day he can't do any of his timetable properly. First day in his life in the past 40 years, he had such a disturbance continuously. The child was crying, the child was pooping, the child was shitting. And he had no other job other than taking care of the child. Whole night the child was crying and he was roaming around the mountain. La la la. He don't even know what to do. He started telling poems, he started singing bhajans. But nothing was working. The child was completely new to the climate, the environment, the temperature, everything. It took days for the yogi to understand what exactly is the timetable of the child. And he started observing the child so carefully that he understood, okay, this time the child is sleeping. This time the child needs food. This time the child is shitting. And based on the child's timetable, he changed his timetable completely and he made sure that the child is safe and complete and happy. And whenever the child is sleeping, he started doing whatever he wanted to do. And he could definitely not do what he was doing before the child was, but still he could do most of his things, meditation, yoga, scripture, bhajan, blah blah. And days rolled by and slowly the child started crawling, the child started playing, he started making different toys out of trees and different things, and the child started making its own time. And also the child started understanding the yogi's time, the yogi's availability, yogi's interest, yogi's activities. And you won't believe it, the child started adjusting according to the yogi's timetable. And the yogi changed his timetable according to the child. Both started getting a very good rapport and their chemistry was superb. And they started understanding each other and they started loving each other. The child was badly in need of some company, and the old man who was alone for 40 years was overwhelmed by such a beautiful company called a child. And literally there was not one child, there were 2 children. Now, coming back to the story, this old man one day was meditating and there came a beautiful sound. He was sitting straight as always. For 40 years he was chanting that Om alone. And that day also he thought the same and he sat and he was chanting Om. And first time he heard that voice, Om. The child was singing along with him. He was so overwhelmed. He started calling the child Om, and the child started calling him Yogi because that is how the village people call him. So Yogi and Om became so close friends, and the yogi was doing yoga and the child was also doing yoga. The yogi was singing bhajans, the child also started singing bhajans, and they both got so good. And months rolled and it became almost 2 years, and the yogi and the child became a pack. And one fine day, a very big ship landed in the village, and a young man came out of the ship with bag full of jewels and medals and awards and dress and whatnot. and he straight away came to the girl's house. Yes, he is the father of the child. And he came and kept all the things in front of his father-in-law's feet and said, I am the boy whom your daughter was loving. Now where is my wife? And now the father-in-law understood the situation, and he asked him to sit, and he went to the room and asked the girl, and the girl revealed what happened, and he understood what big mistake she did. He ran from the back door to the mountain, and when he was running towards the hut, he was thinking all these things. What will happen now? Will the old man give the child? Will the child come with me? And all his fear turns into anger. And what is happening the other side in the small hut? The yogi was meditating, the child was meditating in complete silence. And again the same sound came. Thud, thud, thud. And the yogi smiled. You know what? 2 years before, the same sound happened, and I opened the door, and there you are. Now let's see who's going to join. Carried the child, opened the door, and when he opened the door, he could recognize quickly that, you are the one who gave the baby. So he was about to say, you are. But within that time, the man was in so much of fear that he couldn't even, ready to listen to the yogi. He started blasting in anger because that, how dare you have my grandchild? The child is my future, the child is my life, the child is my family, and you should have told me that day itself, and you didn't tell, and it's all your mistake. And this old man had no clue what is happening. The first day too, he didn't understand anything, and again this day he didn't understand anything. And before even he could say anything or ask anything, again something unbelievable thing happened. What? The man grabbed the child from the old man and closed the door and started walking with full speed. The child started screaming, Yogi, Yogi, and crying, and he could hear the howling sound, and he had nothing to do. The door is closed and the door is banged, and the child is going with the man. And the yogi looked for a moment and smiled and said, okay, let it be. Looked around. There were so many belongings of the child. Carried all the belongings of the child, packed it, threw it away, changed his timetable to his olden days, and started living as if that episode was not there at all in his life. I have told the stories to different people. I got two different extreme opposite reactions. One group would say, what a man he is. He is, emotional. He's, stone-hearted. How can he not, not try for getting the child back? He really loves the child. He should have not left the child, blah, blah. And on the other side, also I heard few people saying, wow, what a beautiful man. What a beautiful heart. What a beautiful life. Understand, my dearest. We don't control so many things in this planet. And I like the story very much, because even if God comes in front of this old man, even God can't make this old man unhappy. I really liked this part, that the old man never complains. The old man never tries to change others. He always tries to change himself and fits into any situation and always make himself happy every moment. Thank you for listening. We will have so many stories in line. We will meet again with plenty of other stories. And thank you.